Welcome to this heart opening practice. We'll begin today in tabletop position on all fours. Come onto hands and knees and sink the heart towards the ground, finding extension through the spine, lifting the tailbone, pressing the heart through your shoulders towards the top of your mat. Take a full breath in here and just settle into that exhale. Good. Tuck the toes under, keep the anterior pelvic tilt in the pelvis, and begin to lift your hips up into a downward facing dog. Spread all 10 fingers wide. Begin to press your heart towards your thighs. Inhale here. Exhale it all out. Round your spine forward and come into plank. Lowering down to your knees. Press your hips back, child's pose. Coming back onto all fours and then lowering onto your belly. Slide the fingers off to the mat, off to the sides of the mat. Curling the spine up into cobra. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Inhale, press the belly button to your spine and lift the heart a little bit more. Exhale, slowly lower the spine back down towards the mat. Push back, tabletop. Once again, finding that arc in the spine, that extension, lifting the tailbone, lifting the heart. Playing with that idea of pushing your heart forward between your shoulders, pressing your shoulders back and down. Keep the arc in your low back as we lift into a downward facing dog. Inhale, roll the spine forward, plank pose. Drop the knees wide, sit the hips back, child's pose. Press into the hands, come onto all fours and lower onto your belly. Slide the fingers to the sides, tent the fingers, and inhale, cobra, lift the heart. Exhale, relax the shoulders. Inhale, pull that belly button towards your spine, lift up a little bit higher. Exhale, lower yourself back down, hands underneath the shoulders, press back. Let's go into our downward facing dog. Staying here for 2 breaths, breathing steadily through your nose, warming up the legs, the shoulders, and keep pressing your hips up towards the sky. Inhale, take that right leg into the air, 3-legged dog. Exhale and step it in between the hands. Walk your left hand off the mat, right arm reaching up into that twist. You can stay here or explore bringing that hand to your head. Lift your chest to the top of your mat and open your heart a little bit more, like you're creating a back bend here. Breathe into that space and then exhale, right hand comes down to the floor. Step back plank, lower down slowly to your belly. Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg into the air, 3-legged dog. Step it in between the hands. Right fingers off the mat. Left arm reaching up into that Nice open twist here. Again, you can explore taking the hand behind your head. Really reach that elbow up and back to broaden your chest, open the heart. One more inhale. And exhale, float that hand back down, stepping back into plank, chaturanga, cobra, or maybe taking upward facing dog this time. We are here in upward facing, the tops of the legs are off the mat, we're pulling those shoulders back, pressing the heart to the top of the mat. Curl the toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. Keep lifting your tailbone up towards the sky as you press your heart to your thighs. Inhale. And exhale it out. Good. Walk your toes to the top of the mat, finding Uttanasana, forward fold. Bring your hands to the front of your shins. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, and take it all the way back down, looking towards your belly button. Press down through the feet. Inhale to rise. Reach the arms up, Utkatasana. Exhale your hands down by your side, finding Tadasana, mountain pose. Standing tall, rooting down through your feet and lifting up through your heart. Take an inhale here. And let that exhale just settle within you. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, step back to plank. Lower down slowly or drop down to your knees. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Really press your elbows and shoulders back here as you press your heart through towards the front of your mat. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Stay up on the ball of the back foot and inhale, reach the arms overhead. Let's take the arms out to the side, cactus arms. Really thinking about drawing those elbows back behind you to broaden and push your chest forward. Get strong in your legs, pressing your back heel up a little bit higher and then back like it's pressing against a wall. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, float the hands back down, step back into plank. Again, option dropping to your knees or lowering halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. And inhale, left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Step that in between the hands. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, cactus the arms out to the side. Pull your chest forward, lift and lengthen up out of your lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, float the hands back down, step back into plank. Lowering down on your exhale. Inhale, upward facing. Find that full extension through the spine. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips up, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Very good, very good. Take that right leg into the air again, three-legged dog. Open the hip out to the side, lifting that right knee to the ceiling. Keeping those shoulders squared forward to the top of the mat. And then we're going to square the hips off. Step that right foot in between the hands. Once again, high lunge. Turn, pivot the back foot, opening into warrior two. Relax into those shoulders and reach out through all 10 fingers. Place the left hand to your back thigh. Turn right palm to the ceiling. Inhale. Reach up and back. Reverse your warrior. You think about the center of your torso here, your rib cage. Try and drive it, slide it towards the top of your mat to create this lateral flexion. And then slight back bend to really open up the heart. Inhale. Exhale, warrior two. We're gonna cartwheel the hands down on the inside of that right foot. Pivot the back foot and drop the knee. You can walk your right foot over to the edge of the mat. We're gonna come into a twisted monkey here. So left hand stays down, right hand on your knee. Right now, just working through that hip, that left hip flexor, dropping it down towards the floor. Squeeze into your left glute to create more opening. And then if it's available and you want to explore it, you can lift the back foot. Strap is a really good option here if you have one, or maybe you can reach all the way back. Reaching for those toes, and if you can, if that's available, press your foot away from you, which really pulls that right shoulder back and opens up the heart. Now, if you're here thinking about lifting and lengthening out of that chest while pulling your belly button towards your spine. Keep pushing your back foot away from you, creating a little bit more opening in the shoulder. Full breath in. And let that go. Let go of your back foot. Down onto your hands. Gently stepping back into plank. Lowering down. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, float those hips up, downward facing dog. As you inhale, lift the left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Stack the left hip over right. Reach that left knee up towards the sky as much as you can. Square the hips off. Land that left foot in between your hands. High lunge on your inhale. Exhale, turn your back foot, open up warrior two. Inhale, reach out through all 10 fingers. Exhale, sink a little lower. Place that right hand to your back thigh. Turn left palm to the ceiling. Inhale, reach up and back. Reverse warrior. Staying strong in your lower half, keeping that front knee stacked over your ankle. And again, if you can think about sliding your ribcage to the front of your mat, and then inhale, get length, grow tall with your upper half. Maybe a slight back bend here as you rotate your chest up towards the sky. Inhale. Exhale, coming back to warrior two. Reach out. Cartwheel the hands down on the inside of that left foot. Pivot your back foot, drop the knee. You shimmy that left foot over. Again, preparing for twisted monkey. So we're staying down on the right hand, left hand to your knee. Working into that hip flexor to start, sinking the hips down, squeezing into that right glute. Again, if it's available and you want to explore it, lift that back foot, grab a hold of your toes or whatever you can grab a hold of. Now, if you're really advanced, you want to go deeper, you could come down onto your right elbow, or maybe using a block for a little extra height. You can explore so many options here. Once again, let's bring our attention to our heart center. Press the chest towards the top of the mat. Hold the belly button in and up, Create some length throughout the spine as you keep rotating that that left shoulder back behind you. Breathe and open. Allow yourself to be vulnerable here. We're going to gently release the back foot. We'll step back into plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Staying here for a couple breaths, or maybe taking child's pose if that feels better for you in this moment. And to walk the toes towards the top of the mat, finding your forward fold. Feet underneath the hips, press the heels into the mat, and as if you're trying to spread the mat apart, press the heels away from one another, activating those outer hips, abductor muscles. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Come into as much of a flexion through the spine as you can, and then when you no longer can go any further, contract your abdominals and see if you can flex the spine just a little bit more. Good. Hands on the shin. Inhale, flat back. We want to really think about our heart center here, reaching forward as the shoulders pull back. A very long neckline. One more full breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Bring the big toes together to touch. Bend the knees, sitting down into Utkatasana, chair pose. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, cactus the arms out to the side, bending to the elbows. Really beautiful place to play with our extension here. So think about pelvic tilt. Lift your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Pull belly button in towards your spine. Create length. Arc the spine up, the chest forward, and pull your elbows back. Breathe into this space. One more. Exhale, forward fold. We'll step the right foot back, drop down into that knee. Just hang out here in our low lunge. If you have a block, it could be very useful for our next pose. So just placing that beside your left hip. If not, we can always make do without. So we're going to take the arms up now, reach them overhead. Keep sinking into those hips. Pull the belly button in towards your spine. Left hand can either come to your hip, or if you have that block and you can reach for it, let's keep it there. Inhale, reach up and out of your waist, like you're trying to create space from your right hip and your right rib cage. Open that space. And then create a side bend here. Slide the rib cage towards the right as you reach over towards the left. Now from here, creating a back bend. So thinking about the center of the chest, rotate it up towards the ceiling. Lift up and out of your waist. Pull belly button to your spine. Now explore placing the hand behind your head. Think about that elbow moving up towards the ceiling and back behind you. Keep lifting and lengthening out of that chest. You might be so flexible that you don't need that block there and you can reach all the way down. For me, not happening today. One more breath here. Good. Bring that right hand down towards the floor. Let's bring both hands on the inside of that right foot. Just a quick lizard here to reset the spine. Press your chest forward. Maybe coming down onto your elbows. Good. Come back into plank pose. Step that left foot back. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple deep breaths here to reset. And begin to walk your toes forward to the top of the mat, finding Uttanasana, forward fold. Once again, thinking about the heels here, press the heels down into the mat, and as if you're trying to spread the mat apart, press them away from each other. Engaging the outer hips. Find a deeper forward fold as you look towards your belly button. Contract your abdominals and completely flex the spine. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Thinking again about that heart center, reach it forward. Exhale, fold. Big toes together to touch, sitting into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Pressing firmly down into those heels, inhale. Exhale, open the arms, finding cactus arms. Press your heart through your shoulders. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, step the left foot back. Drop down into your low lunge. Again, if you have that block, just place it on the right side of your hip. And then we'll reach the arms up on our inhale. Sink the hips down. Pull that navel towards your spine. Lifting and lengthening out from your hips. Create that space from hip to rib cage. Open up. Take that right hand down onto the block or to your hip. And inhale, reach left fingertips as high as they can go. Exhale, side bend. So again, the rib cage is gliding towards the left while you're reaching over to the right. We're going to explore that back bend. So lift the heart up, reach it up towards the ceiling, maybe taking the hand behind your head and exploring what it feels like to really navigate using that elbow. One more full inhale here and open up the heart. Exhale, come back through to center, left hand down to the floor. Whew. Let's step back into plank. Option here, downward dog or child's pose. Take a rest wherever it feels right for you. I forgot my lizard there. So let's step that right foot forward. Hands on the inside of the right foot. Drop your hips down. Maybe it might feel good. Just come down to those elbows or a block. Wherever you're at, think about that long spine. Once again, sound like a broken record player here, but reach that heart forward. Keep elongating the spine. Press onto your hands, step back into plank. Lift the hips, downward facing dog. From here, let's drop our knees wide, toes together, child's pose. Gently pressing yourself up. We're going to sit back onto our heels, setting up for camel pose. So definitely a little bit of a deeper back bend here. Everything we've been doing thus far has been warming us up to this point. So again, we really want to think about pulling that belly button towards the spine and lifting and lengthening up out of your chest to come into a very safe back bend here. Let's come up onto our knees, tuck the toes under, and place the hands on your hips. Just creating a slight pelvic tilt here, engaging through the glutes. Pull that navel towards your spine, in and up. Lift and lengthen up out of that chest, and continue to push your hips forward. So here we are creating more length in our spine with a very strong, stable core, protecting our spine. I'm going to take my left hand to my heel, if that's available. Sometimes putting a block there can give you a little bit more space, allow you to open up safely. Move into what feels good for you. All right, so again, belly button to my spine, lift and lengthen out of my chest, right arm reaches up towards the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, keep pushing your hips forward. One more breath. Gently come back through. Sit back onto your heels just for a breath. Tuck the toes under. We'll go on to the other side. Setting yourself up. Right hand to your back foot or block. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Keep lifting and lengthening out of your chest. And gently come back up through center. Untuck the toes. Sit for a breath. So now we'll move into full camel, both sides opening up. And if you'd like to, you can modify by just taking your hands to your low back. That's another option. Taking full camel, let's bring the arms all the way onto the feet, the heels. And pull that belly button towards your spine. Lift up and out of your chest. And find that beautiful heart opening expression in camel. Breathe into the front side of your body as you create strength along the back. One more full inhale here. Gently exhale. Pull the belly button to your spine. Bring yourself back up through center. Untuck the toes. And we can just reset into child's pose. Keep the knees together for this one. Hands along your side. Bow the forehead down to the mat. Allow your shoulders, your back, your hips to get really heavy here. Place the hands underneath the shoulders. Gently pick yourself back up onto hands and knees, tabletop. Now from here, if you have a bolster or some kind of rolled up blanket will do as well. We're going to move into a supported bow. If you don't have those props, you can do bow totally on your own as well. So I'm going to place the bolster right directly underneath my belly and rib cage, just above my hips. And setting up kind of like a Sphinx pose here on my elbows. So this is a great way to come into a back bend and be supported. We're just going to start by stretching out the quads, bringing your left foot up off the floor. Let's reach around with the left hand and just press your heel towards your bum. Nice deep stretch here for the front of the thigh. And release. Let's move over to the other side. Good. So as we move into this bow, we want to think about our breath coming from our outer rib cage, the sides of our rib cage through here. Rather than a deep belly breath, the belly breath will create more compression into our low back, our lumbar spine. So as you breathe, breathe up into the chest and to the sides of the rib cage. All right, so we're gonna bend both knees, reach around, grab for the outsides of the feet, or I like to actually grab the inside of the feet, just creates more opening in the shoulder. And then we're going to press those feet back. Create some resistance there as your hands pull your feet towards you. Keep lifting, lengthening out of your chest. And once again, breathe up into the chest and out through the sides of the rib cage. Gently release down. Settle into that space. And we'll do that one more time. Good. Setting up, bend the knees, grab the insides of the feet if that feels good for you. Open up the chest, the shoulders, press those feet back. One more full inhale. Exhale and soften, let everything go. Press into the palms of the hands, lift yourself up. If you got a bolster or blanket, let's move those off to the side. And we're gonna move into pigeon. So setting up in plank, bring your right knee up towards your right wrist. Stay upright just for a moment here, create some length in the spine. And then option to lower down to your elbows. And option again, if you're feeling really flexible today, just let your forehead rest down onto the back of your hands. Settle into those hips. Scan your shoulders. Can you let go of any tension there? Taking one more breath here. Press yourself up onto your hands. Taking a downward dog here, lifting the right leg up with you. Draw 3 circles in both directions. Biggest circles you can make with your knee. with your hip. Setting up for pigeon on the other side, left knee to left wrist. Sink into the hips, lift the heart. And then when it feels right, come on down to those elbows. Maybe resting your head on the back of your hands. Settle into this space. Settle into your breath. One more breath here. Press into the palms of the hands. Step back once again, downward facing dog, reaching that left leg into the air. Draw 3 big circles in each direction. Really moving through the full range of motion throughout your whole hip. Join your left foot to meet your right. And then drop the knees down. Slide the feet to the side, take a seat. We'll make our way onto our backs. Let's bring the feet towards the ceiling, bend the knees, coming into happy baby. Just grabbing the outer feet and drawing your knees down towards the floor. Keep your tailbone rooting down. Maybe it might feel good to rock side to side here, massaging out that low back. Bring the knees together, hug them in towards the chest. Maybe bringing the forehead towards your knees, creating a ball. And then expand yourself out, moving into Shavasana. Legs open out, mat distance, if that feels good. Arms out to the side, palms facing up. Maybe shrugging those shoulders down your back. Slight tuck of the chin to lengthen the back of your neck. Together, let's take a full, deep inhale through the nose. Exhale it out the mouth. Settle into this space, into this moment. Allow your body to fully relax and let go. Just a quick body scan. Relaxing all the muscles of the face, the forehead, the cheeks, the jaw. Letting go of any tension in the neck and shoulders, let it get completely heavy. Relaxing the belly, all the abdominal organs. Relaxing through the hips and the glutes. Letting your legs just flop open to the side as they completely let go and relax. Relaxing all 10 toes, all 10 fingers. Settling into this space. Take a deep inhale. Full exhale. Slowly bring movement back into your body, inviting your fingers and your toes to wiggle, your wrists and ankles to circle. Moving your head side to side. Oh, take a big good morning stretch, reaching your arms up past your head. And as you exhale, bring your knees in, create a little ball again. Rolling over onto your side and finding a seated pose. Bring your hands to your heart, bow your head. Inhale. Let that go, exhale. If we only knew love, healing would be so easy. Thank you so much for joining this practice today with me, for taking the time to open your heart, be vulnerable, and take care of yourself. The light in me honors and sees the light in you. Namaste.